to my YouTube channel, Hair Refinery. My name is Siphokazi. Welcome, diamonds. If you haven't done so, kindly subscribe to my channel. Kindly check my previous content where I have shared my experiences in my former workplace, which were quite toxic. All right, there's more content to follow. Just make sure you stay tuned in, and yeah. Okay. So on today's video, I will be doing a get to know me tag. I'll be spilling certain beans about myself. So I have quite a number of questions here that I will be answering, and stay tuned. I hope you enjoy this video. Get your drink ready, be comfortable, and stay tuned. Hey Bantu, where are my questions? First and foremost, I am a born-again Christian, just putting it out there. I'm a born-again Christian. All right, let's get right into it. What is the meaning of your name? Siphokazi means a great gift. Just a bit of a backstory. So before I was born, my mom had already planned to name me Lindo Boshe, right? But because of the circumstances around my birth, you know, the moment she laid eyes on me, she was like, yeah, Siphokazi Sam AC. So my actual name is Siphokazi, even if it's not on the ID, but me, I'm telling you. Yeah, my name is Siphokazi. Yeah, man. Another reason why I think she named me this is because I'm a rainbow child, meaning that I was born after, you know, a couple of miscarriages that she had. So I think that's just one of the reasons why she gave me the name she gave me. And, you know, just the circumstances surrounding my birth, or rather preceding my birth. I remember she told me at some point that when she'd go for her prenatal checkups, they couldn't hear my heartbeat. They couldn't locate my heartbeat. So doctors had to use like these big humongous machines just to hear my heartbeat. And I've been fighting ever since I was in the womb, you know. And I think, yeah, that's how my name came about. I know the question said, what does your name mean? But, you know, I just gave you some, you know, yeah. Okay. Is there someone you cannot live without? My mother. I cannot live without that woman. I love her to the moon and back. See, that person keeps me sane. Of course, we have our ups and downs as any normal mother-daughter relationship, but she got my back. See that woman right there? She got my back. So she's the one person I cannot live without. The others, I'm kidding, guys. Have you ever attended a live concert? Yes, right. I have attended a live concert. I was invited by my friend back in 2018 December. So basically, this was the Global Citizen Festival, which was hosted in Soccer City, Soweto. There were live acts from, you know, Black Coffee, Asha, Pharrell, Casper Nyovest. You know, the list goes on. Shoma Josie, Beyonce, and you know, the list goes on. Okay. My feet showed me flames that day, because although we had access to, you know, easily seeing the performances, because we were right at the front, we had to like stand the entire duration of the concert hall. You know, it was insane. I've never stood that long in my entire life. Yes, no pain, no gain, right? Yeah. Do you prefer tea or coffee? Coffee. I don't know if it's because I've had struggles with my energy levels for years now, you know, back and forth struggle with iron deficiency. So for some reason, I feel like coffee comes through for me. You know, yeah. What is your favorite color? My favorite color is purple. Oh, I love the color purple. In fact, my matric dance dress was purple. Just saying. Yeah, purple just has this thing to it. It has this prestige, this status of royalty. I really love that color. That's my favorite color, by the way. How long was your longest relationship? I'm assuming romantic. I think around about a year. I think that was my longest relationship. The duration of my last, or rather longest relationship. A year, basically, max. When was the last time you embarrassed yourself? Hey! Guys, I'm a joke. When was the last time I embarrassed myself? I don't remember, guys. I just laugh things off. I just laugh things off to a point where I don't even classify it as embarrassing moments, because I can be a clown at times. It's a coping mechanism, really. What is your eye color? Dark brown. Got that from my mommy. Do you get angry quickly? Next question. Do you prefer the beach or the mountains? Definitely the beach. I'm a water baby. I love water. In fact, the main reason why it's just a side note, the main reason why I signed up with a certain gym was because of the heated swimming pool. You know, at least it compensates for my lack of being in a coastal area. You get what I mean? So yeah, definitely it's the ocean. It's definitely the sea. Right? Do you avoid conflict or face it? Hooey. Do you avoid conflict or face it? I face it. I think it's important to face reality for what it is and not what we want it to be. We should acknowledge things for what we are. We should acknowledge things for what they are. So face it. And believe you me, there was a time in my life where I avoided conflict with everything in me, and it was when I used to struggle with people pleasing tendencies. But now I'm like, you know what? Let's face it. You know, let's get it over and done with. You know, not because I like getting into fights and whatnot. No, when something is wrong, it's wrong. I will not call something black white when it's actually black. You get what I mean? That's just me, personally speaking. So yeah, if you decided to get inked, what tattoo would that be? It would definitely be a semicolon. There are multiple incidents in my life, multiple occurrences that have taken place where, you know, it seemed like it was just ruins, it was ashes, like it was hopeless, but you know, God came through for me in the most insane ways. And there is so much more to come on this channel. I'm all about spilling beans, I'm all about transparency, I'm all about sharing life through my eyes during my own refinery process. So yeah, man. Yes, so I've been like I said previously, that how my name came about and how the doctors couldn't hear my heartbeat. I've been fighting since I was in the womb, literally. You know, I've been in and out of hospital from a young age. So honestly speaking, I feel that punctuation mark, that semicolon, it basically describes my life. That, you know what, it's not a full stop. My story isn't over yet, you know. And I think it just comes with the refinery process. You know, you think about the steps of how a diamond gets polished, you know, the steps of it being refined previously. Okay, so for example, diamonds, right, before they get polished, before they become actual diamonds, before they face the refinery process, they coal, right? They come from coal, something you could easily undermine, right? You wouldn't expect something beautiful to come from ruins, and certain processes take place in order for it to be a proper, good-looking, polished diamond, right? And so I feel like a semicolon embodies that no, it's not over. Even despite how painful the refinery process is, we're getting somewhere. We are going somewhere. Another analogy that really blows my mind is, you know, when you bake, right? You know, the different ingredients like your baking powder, your cake flour, your sugar, salt, butter, and whatnot, right? You have all these different ingredients, and in isolation, you can't just eat flour. It does not taste pleasant. You can't just eat salt. You can't just eat baking powder, you know. But when a certain process has taken place with the right measurements, you put it in your oven under a certain temperature. What is it? 180 degrees. You know, for a certain duration, just the perfect, you know, time measurements and whatnot. It comes out consumable. All right, and that's the interesting thing about the refinery. There's heat, there's pain, there's kneading involved, there's, you know, but it all works out in the end. And just having such analogies to keep me going in this life, it really embodies why I would like to have a semicolon tattoo. A story isn't over yet. Which sports did you play? Okay, growing up, I played soccer. Back in primary school, I had this insane crush on Steven Pinada. I don't know why. Yeah, I had an insane crush on that man. What books have changed your life? The Bible. Uh, what is your spirit animal? Definitely a cat. I am a cat. In fact, okay, let's not get into that. Yes, my spirit animal is a cat. I have a mind of my own. I am sassy. Alright, I am sassy. I know this. I can be feisty at times, but I don't just get feisty out of nowhere. I promise you I don't. Are you a morning person or a night owl? I am a night owl. I am definitely a night owl. As we speak, I'm recording this in the wee hours of the morning. Yeah, as we speak, I'm recording this after midnight. I don't know. Maybe it has to do with the serenity that comes with, I don't want to use the word darkness, you know, it already has its negative connotations, but there's just something about the quietness, you know, the slow down, the time when most people are sleeping. This is when I can hear my thoughts out loud. This is when I put pieces of the puzzle together. Even like in matric, I remember this was like the best time to study for me. Information just worked out during the night. You know, it would just get easily assimilated. I just love the night. I don't know, maybe it's because I was born at 3 a.m. So, you know, maybe there's a correlation between that. Yeah. Do you believe in karma? This is what I believe in. You reap what you sow. For every action, there's a reaction. That's just how it is. What qualities do you want in a friend? Yo, You know what? There's this saying that I strongly believe in. Bear with me now. Do as you would be done by. I'm not perfect, but I do everything in my power to treat a friend the same way that I would like them to treat me. This does not mean I don't have shortfalls. I do. However, I go out of my way to treat them. I model. I show them a model, or what do they call? What is this word? I can't find the word, guys. I'm sorry. But I try and display through my actions so that I'm not a hypocrite that, okay, this is how I want you to treat me, given 1, 2, 3 situation. So definitely look at me getting nervous. I don't know what's happening. Yeah. A loving friend. And you know the word love encompasses so many other, qualities and whatnot. A supportive friend, a transparent friend, an honest friend, a loyal friend, loyalty, honesty, loving, someone who has my back behind my back, if that makes sense. Very supportive friend. And someone who doesn't envy me or who's jealous. Like, what am I going to do with a jealous friend? No, honestly speaking, like, what am I going to do with a jealous friend? See, now this is becoming like a venting video, but what am I going to do with a jealous friend? And this is not me having a main character syndrome or whatever they call it, but what am I going to do with a jealous friend? Why is it so hard for certain people to be genuinely happy for others' victories? I don't know. It's in Xhosa we say it's witchcraft like. So no, like a friendship where it's just a competition. No, I'm not about that life. You see, even my partner knows if what is it? Even my partner knows I would rather have no friends than to have someone who's competing with me, who secretly envies me or is jealous of me. Once again, I'm not trying to display a main character syndrome, and I'm just, being forthcoming. I'm being honest. Like, what the hell? If you could have dinner with any historical figure, who would it be? Charles Spurgeon. It would definitely be Charles Spurgeon. So, you see, that guy was one guy who was very vocal about his mental health struggles. I can imagine the stigma. That came with that, because I think he's from like centuries ago, right? He was very vocal. He actually wrote books about mental health. He was very transparent about his own struggles with mental health and where it stemmed from. And you see that guy? That is one historical figure. I mean, of course, there's many others, but someone who keeps it real, authentic, someone who's genuine. I'm all about that life, because who are we kidding? So definitely Charles Spurgeon. I love transparency. It has this aspect of healing that comes with it, because we are acknowledging something for what it is instead of sweeping it under the rug. There's a saying that says, please bear with me with all these sayings. There's a saying that says, a problem known is a problem half solved. When you know exactly what you're dealing with, then you know how to tackle it instead of acting like it doesn't exist. That is what I'm all about. We acknowledge things for what they are. We face reality for what it is and not what we want it to be. I have had quite a number of, circumstances where I was very delulu. I will not lie. I am not perfect. However, the approach I'm following is to navigate life with that mindset. That a problem known is a problem half solved. You know what you're dealing with. It's like, what is your favorite drink? Coke. It's not good for me, but that's my favorite drink. Okay. When was the last time you cried? I am going to be genuinely honest with you, diamonds. The last time I cried was a few hours ago. Okay. One thing I'm not going to do is invalidate my own experiences. I'm not going to gaslight myself. I feel like we already endure or go through, gaslighting from external forces. Sorry, I don't need to call people forces, but you get what I mean, right? So yeah, I will cry. I would like to believe that crying is a form of healing. Something is exiting the body. It's like with, journaling. You are offloading the load. This is my opinion, right? This is how I see it. You get what I mean? So it's just adding, a backstory that, certain things have to exit, because sometimes prolonged stress and things building up, you will erupt like a volcano. I know exactly what I'm talking about, So it's so important to find an outlet that you will release that tension, that disappointment in a healthy manner, and do away with toxic coping mechanism. Look at me getting all psychological. I'm sorry, guys. But this is all part of the refinery process, because even as I record this, I am also realizing certain things about myself during my own refinery process. Yeah. How would I describe myself in 3 words? Opinionated, resilient, and loving. Okay, diamonds, that is it for today's installment. Kindly subscribe, like, comment. I would love to hear from you. And until next time, guys, goodbye. So one thing I want to mention, right? One of the questions I wanted to answer in this particular installment is, what's the most challenging thing you've ever had to overcome? I will be expressing segments of this particular challenge. I would like to say challenges in my on my YouTube channel. I'm all about transparency, healing, growth, neuroplasticity. That is what I'm all about. Reaching and helping others fulfill their full potential. Whether it's me sharing my own stories, and one thing I have to emphasize is that the reason why I am putting my story out there is not out of vengeance. It is not out of anger. It's not out of wanting to prove a point. No, it's not about that. Alright, I'm not going to waste my time trying to fight a losing battle, because the truth is, you reap what you sow as a person. That's just how it is, so stay tuned, beloved. Thank you so much for coming back. That video, I promised you, that episode 2, it is coming this week, sometime this week, so make sure that you are all ready for it. Stay tuned. Yes, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for the love and support. I highly appreciate it, guys. Let's grow together, let's develop together, let's heal together. We can do this. Diamonds, goodbye.